to Book Date, guys. Do you have your glass of wine? Because I have mine.
Her fourth. Spring TBR. Here we go. Clink. We're doing this.
Let's start with the top. Okay. The thing you are most excited to read in the springtime.
Nettle and Bone, which apparently it's the novel that won the Hugo Award for 2023, although that calendar year was kind of meddled with some controversy because the Hugo Awards were hosted in China, and apparently the Chinese government censored or removed a bunch of nominees from the list itself. So I don't think we'll ever actually know if that's the book that maybe deserved to win.
Or the book that China chose to win.
Yeah, or the one that they were okay with winning, or who knows. I mean, the whole thing is, maybe it is the best science fiction book of that year, but the whole thing is just a little clouded in controversy. Yeah, we'll never know. But anyway, I'm interested to read that one. The Hugo Awards, I'm going to be honest, every single book that has ever won the Hugo Award that I've read, I feel like it absolutely deserves it. Three-body problem. So, you know, I'm okay with that one.
So, probably what I'm most excited for is to start reading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first one. Technically, it's the prequel, so it's not the first one that came out. But if you're going to read it in chronological order, you start with Assassin's Blade. I have no idea what I'm getting into. I don't know if this is fairies. I don't know if this is vampires. This is werewolves.
Isn't it in the same world?
As ACOTAR? No.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Maybe?
I bet you
is this in the same universe? But like, okay, if there's fairies in a universe, there can also be other mystical creatures. So either way, I don't know if this is...
Oh, let's face it. You guys are not reading that for the mystical creatures.
There's several series I kind of want to get into, and it's kind of hard to decide what series to go into first. So what I think I'm going to do is read like the first book in like 3 different series and then decide which one I kind of want to dive into. So it'll be Assassin's Blade from the Throne of Glass series and the Inheritance Games from the Inheritance Games series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a trilogy. This is not. I think, babe, I'm going to save Way of Kings, Warriors of Radiance, and Oathbringer from the Stormlight Archives for a little later in the year and get through.
You're never going to read them.
That's not true.
I think you see how thick.
Damn, boy, he's thick, boy!
They are. How many pages are in them? And you're like, I'll just put them for the end of the year.
No, I just think I'm really, really excited for the Inheritance Games. I've had on my shelf longer. It has priority. Did you watch our TBR, our 2024 TBR video where we did the shot challenge? Where every time that Guillermo or myself, because I was guilty of it too, said Brandon Sanderson or Stormlight Archives or any of these books, and you had to take a shot, did you guys do it? If you haven't done it, go watch that video and do it, and then write in the comments how drunk you are by the end. You're welcome.
I got In the Lives of Puppets. Apparently this is the sci-fi book that won the award in Goodreads. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really trust this recommendation all that much, simply because I don't really see that book in any other list. If I wanted sci-fi and fantasy recommendations, like serious ones, I probably wouldn't go to Goodreads for them. The audience that's on Goodreads, it's not your, typical hardcore 3-body problem audience. So I don't really trust that. I almost want to read it just to be able to say that that is not right.
And also because we want to do a video in the future where we've read all of the winners of the 2023 Goodreads Choice Awards.
Many of which we've read.
Right, but there's certain that we haven't read. I hadn't even known that the In the Lives of Puppets even existed. He's going to be assigned to read
I'm gonna be the guinea pig for that one.
The sci-fi. And then I'm going to read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which was the fiction winner for Goodreads, their Choice Awards for 2023.
I will also be reading that book. It's in my TBR as well.
And then from that list, I also want to read Wayward by Emily Hart, which is a historical fiction novel, which follows 3 desperate women along 3 timelines in 1619, 1942, and 2019. So it stitches the story of these 3 women's back and forth. This one for historical fiction, but it also won for best debut novel by the author.
All right, next up, I got Children of Time series. That one, I'm a little bit, I will see. That one also won the Hugo Award for Best Series of 2023. But I don't know much about it, so I'm a little bit... I have to research that one just a little bit more. I honestly want to be just surprised. I also want to read The Will of Many, simply because I don't really... You know, it's funny making book-related YouTube videos. I actually don't watch a lot of booktube, I guess. But there is one creator that I do watch, which is James Slington. And that was his favorite sci-fi book of that year. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm going to check that one out because this creator also really, really likes Red Rising.
We've got another book that we both want to read, which is The Women by Kristen Hanna. Guy read The Four Winds recently and he absolutely liked it.
The Fourth Winds?
Yeah. No.
Yes, it's The Four Winds.
And you really liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. The ending was a little bit like a sad cap, like an unnecessary sad cap. But yeah.
You liked it enough to want to read more from the author.
I like this author already. Yeah, I like this author
Awesome.
already.
So this is her brand new release. It just came out like a few weeks ago. This is a historical fiction.
Dealing with Vietnam, I believe.
One of the most cruel and despicable wars of the last century, the Vietnam War. So that already has my attention. And Guy, I mean, I've already read some Kristen Hanna in the past, like Firefly Lane, The Nightingale, some of her Pillar novels, and Guy really liked her more recent ones. So I think this is gonna be a fun read for both of us to read together, and then maybe give our opinions on the female perspective and the male perspective of the women.
So my next one is actually the next novel from the author from Gentleman in Moscow, which is actually one of my favorite books, especially one of my favorite books that I've read in the last 2-3 years. I don't really know what it's going to be about. I guarantee you, though, it's going to be follow along the lines of all his other books, which are basically time pieces, you know, like basically the story or the drama about a certain characters within a certain community, within a certain place and time. Like, for example, I believe the first one was about a young girl during the 1920s. His second one, Gentleman in Moscow, was about a exiled political prisoner inside of a hotel during the Soviet Union. And then the third one was about two boys trying to make their way through the United States during the 1950s, I believe, something like that. So it's probably going to follow something along those lines. There's probably going to be a lot of life lessons, a lot of world history, and yeah, I'm into that kind of thing.
I also want to read The Housemade Secret, which is the sequel to The Housemaid, which I absolutely ran through in just a few hours a few months ago. Really liked that book. This is the sequel, and it was also the winner for Mystery and Thriller for Goodreads 2023. So in the spring, I kind of want to really focus on my goals, which is getting to fantasy, but also in between those, catching up on what Goodreads says was the best of 2023, which he may or may not agree with.
Probably not.
I want to know what the hype is about, and at the end of the day, we tend to honestly have the same opinions. Like, I tend to like more romance and tend to like more contemporary novels than he does, but Goodreads, sometimes it's, you know, it's here, and Guy and I are expecting like here.
It's a lot of 14-year-old girls on there. Let's face it.
Unfortunately.
This life is violent. Don't you let it go.
I love Goodreads mainly because it's just a great way to organize everything you have read, everything you want to read, write reviews. It's a great app to kind of look back on what I have read, when I read them, what I thought of them at a kind of quick glance. I do love also those challenges. But I'm starting to realize that discovering the most popular books on Goodreads might just be whatever's popular on Bookstagram and BookTok, which granted, some of them are hits.
It's probably whatever's most popular in your high school courtyard.
Which, heck, if that's the demographic that's reading, I'm all for it. Let the younger kids read. Let them take over. Where are the adults who are also adding in their opinions, you know?
Right.
The winner is not necessarily the best book that came out, just the book that most people got. And a lot of the times that has to do with great marketing. It has to do with authors that are already popular. So I hope with this channel we can also focus on that, because we want to be able to relate to the masses, but also find those hidden gems that are actually worth you know, if you are at a tier of reading in your life where you've already read some incredible novels and you just kind of want to stay at that tier, we also want to find those gems too. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't want to read the same books that 14-year-old girls want to read. If I wanted to see more sci-fi, if I wanted to see more, you know, historical books, if I wanted to see more of the books that I'm interested in, then maybe more guys should read and more guys should be on those apps. But they're not. So
right.
I'm in a woman's world.
Well, that's everything I kind of want to read in spring. I feel like that's already super ambitious for the next few months.
No, I think it'll be fun. I think
we could do
yeah,
it?
I mean, if you actually try Brandon Sanderson, then yes, you wouldn't be able to read anything.
I don't know. What are you reading right now?
I am currently right now I'm kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for some of the books that I do want to read, like the ones that I've mentioned, to actually come in and be able to become
You're
available.
wasting time? You're not reading anything right now?
I haven't read something in a day. I don't even know if you should be drinking any more of this, but here you go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let us know what you guys are going to read in the spring. What's the book you're most excited about?
New releases.
And maybe we'll add it to ours.
New release or not. What is a book? Oh, also, tell us what is a book that you've had on your TBR forever that you haven't gotten around to. And you know what? It's spring cleaning time, guys. Let's clean up our TBRs and dust off some of those books that have been on our shelves for a really long time. So let us know what those books are for you. Comment, like this video, subscribe if you like us. We really hope you do, even though, you know, sometimes our opinions tend to be very unpopular.
I wish I was a 14-year-old girl.
As a person who was once a 14-year-old girl, I'm very glad to no longer be a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, but then I would have so many books to read.
That's true. That is very true. Cheers, guys.